We got Dan and Chuck from Del Rio and Caraway here with us this morning. Good morning, guys. Thanks for being with us.
Morning.
Okay, so we have talked a lot on this show and just in general about deepfakes, AI, created material. It's a kind of a scary world we're going into. But in Denmark, they're trying to do something. There's some legal aspects going on. Explain what's happening.
Well, so yeah, they're kind of turning the whole idea on its head. Normally, for instance, when it comes to privacy law and things like that, once you go out into the public domain, everything, all privacy is pretty much lost.
Meaning like step outside your door.
That's it. And so, this is where you get the whole idea of the paparazzi can take photos of celebrities, can take photos of you. If you're out in the public domain, it's out there. You're considered, it's no longer private. Now, the idea here, though, is it's become so easy with technology to go ahead and take your likeness and attribute it to anything, whether we're talking, non-consensual pornographic stuff, whether we're talking, political things. They can copy your voice, they can copy your likeness with so much detail now that you can literally come out now and I can grab you and say, hey, you're the new sponsor for X, Y, and Z. And whatever that idea is, it's going to look as close to you as possible at this point. So the idea is that Denmark comes out and says, look, what we need to do to stop this at the root is to give each individual the absolute authority over their likeness.
Whether you're in public or not.
That's it. So you now own from your natural state your likeness, as in your imagery, your voice, everything to do with who is you. So if someone now takes that and tries to apply it to someone else, they have now infringed upon your natural copyright.
Interesting.
So this is turning the whole model and what it is kind of on its head, because if you look at, again, copyright law here, you can take Star Wars and make a spoof of it. That's not even a violation of copyright unless you're literally doing it for very select purposes, such as profit and stuff like that. Sure. We allow a lot of artistic, influence, things that are for education, all that. Denmark's now stopping it at the root and saying, nope, the base element is you own you.
That is interesting. Another interesting case is a TikTok influencer, I guess you will, pulls some kind of prank and doesn't go well legally after that. Explain what happened.
This is about as simple as the law gets. If you're an influencer, you are still subject to the law. And so,
believe it or not,
it's crazy. Put a camera on you. You're not allowed to go in and impersonate employees of a store or start damaging their equipment.
And that's what this guy did?
He went into like a Pep Boys or something like that and said him that he was from corporate, and then a bunch of people showed up and started working on the vehicles and things like that. So they got him for burglary, which I don't know in this particular state what the laws are for burglary, but I don't actually think it's burglary, but he's going to have, criminal trespass and damaging their equipment and things like that. There was other pranks that he pulled where he went into stores and was screaming and disrupting things. Again, disturbing the peace, trespass. You're not allowed to commit crimes because you're an influencer.
One of the things I always wonder about when people do that, though, if they go, then, hey, I got the views, though, so it was worth it. Like, whatever the fine was I had to pay.
That's cost-benefit analysis.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a larger problem we're not going to solve here. We were talking before we came on about Google Street View and all the stuff that it captures. A police officer was awarded a bunch of money because he was caught on Google Street View, kind of not in a compromising position, but embarrassing position.
So Dan brought this up when he was talking about his case, and that is when you go into public, you're part of the public purview, which is you lose a lot of your rights as far as like what's allowed to be recorded and things like that. Now it's important that this is in Argentina, but it involves Google, which operates in America, obviously. And so what happened in this case was they caught a police officer in his backyard, behind his fence, in his garden, nude. And what really was the issue here is that when he contacted Google, they said, tough.
Sorry.
We're not doing anything about it. And throughout the court case, they found, well, Google, you have the ability to blur faces, to blur images, to blur license plates, which is things that you've started to implement. And in this case, you told him, no, and because you had the ability to do that, now we're going to hold you on the hook, and they fine them approximately $13,000 for doing so.
Which is, I mean, obviously nothing to them, but also just going in and blurring it would have
going in and blurring it would have taken nothing.
Now,
since then, Google has created a system where it's using AI to blur a lot of things. And if you see something and you would like yourself to be blurred out, all you have to do is report it to Google and they will blur it out for you, so you're not on there.
Now, this whole discussion makes me think we're heading towards a Denmark versus Google lawsuit in terms of what they can record outside.
He brought that up, and there's a lot greater implications there. As for instance, like the government wouldn't be able to sell any of your information and things if it's all copyrighted to you. So that's actually kind of exciting.
That is very interesting. Gentlemen, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Court?
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.